The Bitcoin bear trap is over right now, and the next move on Bitcoin is gonna be so obvious right now in this market. And on today's update video, I will be talking about this move, about the M2 money supply increasing perfectly and what this means for Bitcoin. I'm gonna be talking about my price targets along the way up here, because I will be using the Fibonacci extension tool to see where the big resistance is laying for Bitcoin. I want to be talking about a major trade I am currently taking on Ethereum, because Ethereum is cooling up here. We're creating a perfect bull flag pattern, but not only that, we're also seeing on the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin valuation a beautiful consolidation pattern, and basically on all pairs we are about to be having a major breakout. So I'm gonna be talking about my trade I am currently taking. I am adding more and more margin towards this trade, so a lot to discuss on today's update video. I will be doing a deep dive in towards Bitcoin, the liquidity heat map, because yes, there is a lot of liquidity piling up above us right now here. So don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So in the most recent videos, of course, we have been perfectly predicting this lower side of support here that we were bouncing from it. And basically right now, Bitcoin is still in this consolidation phase ultimately. And if we remove the up and down sloping trending lines here, we can see that Bitcoin is just still in this horizontal consolidation phase. And that, yeah, really whenever we're going to be breaking above this high right here, we're just re-entering this next phase on the top side, but still Bitcoin is just consolidating in the market. But where I really like to look at is of course the liquidity. And first of all, if I'm looking at the open interest, we are seeing Bitcoin bouncing back towards the upside. Well, actually the open interest is coming down ever so slightly, and this basically means is that there's less and less leverage trades getting opened, but more buying from spot here. And ultimately that is a great thing for all markets. And at the same time, what we're seeing right now here is that we grabbed out all the liquidity that was laying below us. So all the Bitcoin long positions got squeezed out here. And now we're seeing a big wall above us of Bitcoin short liquidations laying above us. So there are a lot of short positions getting loaded up here, and their liquidations are laying between 106 to about 108,000 US dollars. And yes, if I'm also looking at the CoinGlass chart right here, you can see that still the majority of the funding rates are negative and at least below neutral. And of course, like I say in almost every single video, guys, you have to understand, as long as the funding rates remain to be negative, it is usually a good time to be bullish, and that is it for sure right now still. And for the ones that don't understand it, everything below 0.01 is basically below neutral, so there are right now, overweightly speaking, more short positions in quantity. So that is of course interesting to be seeing here, but at the same time we're seeing that Bitcoin is creating a CME gap, and I want you to understand that not Bitcoin is probably going to be pushing up towards the upside before filling up the CME gap, just like we did last weekend. We created the CME gap, filled it up, and then we start to be moving. So something similar is once again expected for this weekend, because this is what happened almost every single weekend. So yeah, sometimes it takes some time here, but you have to understand it is going to be very likely that Bitcoin is at least going to come back towards $104,000 before moving probably even higher. Then of course I want to be quickly talking about some very important levels here, right? So if you've been watching the channel, I mean, I can show you this chart right now here, but if you go back to what was the date that we had this move towards the downside, it was approximately April the 7th. I was making videos on the channel about the retool capitulation, and that it was a good time to be accumulating, because historically that has always been the case here. Like you can see, we've always bounced from it, and now of course we exactly bounced from off this level. Like I also said to the market right there, I also going to be completely honest whenever I think I'm going to be going out of the market. And I want to tell you, I don't believe it's a good time to go out of the market right now, but we are going to be approaching times where it's going to be ever so slightly more risky to stay involved in the market. I mean, if I'm going to be looking at the Bitcoin Fibonacci, you can see basically very good targets where we should start to get maybe a little bit more cautious on Bitcoin, where probably Bitcoin is going to be topping out here. And of course, we've got multiple targets. The 3-level extension is the ultimate take profit target. If we hit that level, we should be definitely very grateful. And honestly, I would definitely go almost completely out of the market by that point. But personally, my realistic target for this cycle is going to be 2 towards 2.272 here. So these two levels is where I'm going to be looking at, and where I think, okay, if we hit those levels, I'm going to be taking significant profits, and I'm going to be moving to some other assets to secure my backs a little bit here. Because yes, I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin also in the bear market. I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin in these dips here. I've been accumulating Bitcoin for a very long time here. So for me, it does make some sense to take some profit if we do come towards the top side of the region. And also for my trades, because I'm mainly trading, of course, I'm taking big trades on Ethereum, and I do believe Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be moving in a similar way towards the upside. And I'm going to be talking about my Ethereum trade in a second from now on. But whenever Bitcoin is going to come towards this region, it would make a lot of sense to take your profits on most of the altcoins, because usually if Bitcoin then comes crashing down here, altcoins are going to get absolutely wrecked here. So the ultimate take profit target for Bitcoin along the way up here is going to be $122,000 all the way up to $136,000. And yes, at the same time, we are seeing right now that exact same pattern play out here. So like I said earlier, I do really think the Bitcoin bear trap is right now behind us. And yes, if we're just looking at the Bitcoin golden cross chart here, we always see like this 10% dump towards the downside before seeing the continuation higher. And that is exactly what is happening right now here. We've seen the golden cross. We're seeing the bearish come down right now here. And ultimately, we always have seen also this rejection from the range high here. And then the move towards the downside. And whenever we're then going to be breaking above it for the second time is where the big continuation happens. And it corresponds right now also exactly with the M2 money supply here. The previous stop also was corresponded with the M2 money supply here. After that, we moved towards the downside. Then we created that bottom on the M2 money supply. And Bitcoin also moved towards the upside. And according to this data, we should be getting another big push towards the upside anytime right now here. And yeah, that is of course a very great thing to be seeing. You can see also on this big chart right here on the M2 money supply here, as long as the global money supply is increasing, Bitcoin is said to be following that standard. So very excited for that here. Then like I said here, especially if the M2 money supply is increasing, it's going to be great for altcoins. And that is why I'm taking heavy trades on Ethereum. And probably whenever Ethereum is going to be going, altcoins that are built on Ethereum are likely going to be following. And you can see I am right now on this trade in Ethereum for about 17 days right now here. I've opened up also many other great trades on Ethereum, on Bybit. Like you can see over here, I bought over 300 Ethereum on spot here to take this as a trade here, because personally, I believe Ethereum is about to create a big move right here. So I'm also having this trade open on Pionex. But basically what I'm expecting is going to be happening next year is that we are right now still in the consolidation phase, right? And at the same time, while we're in this consolidation phase, we're seeing Ethereum getting rejected from the top side of the region. We're clearing the sell orders. And of course, if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing right now that we're coming towards that end stage of the cycle. And that is usually where Ethereum and altcoins in general tends to be performing the best there. The Ethereum compared to Bitcoin pair is creating a perfect symmetrical triangle. And whenever this is going to be breaking out, we could be in for a major continuation higher. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it's not only the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin pair that's coiling up, but it's also the ETH dominance chart. And it's also the Ethereum compared to dollar valuation, right? We're creating this bull flag pattern. You could be approaching it maybe a little bit differently. If you approach it like this, it's more kind of a bull flag pattern. But basically, we're creating a clear pennant for Ethereum. And whenever we're going to be breaking outside of this region, we are going to be in for a big push higher. And at the same time, we're seeing big institutions like BlackRock accumulate huge numbers of Ethereum right now here. So they definitely do know something that we don't here. And of course, all the charts are looking very great here, and that is where I'm betting heavily on here. So if you want to be copying my trade on Pionex right now here, you can go to the highest link description of today's video to sign up an account to Pionex, or go to the third link description of today's video and sign and copy my exact long trade on Ethereum, because this is not just a trade here, guys. You have to understand this. This trade is basically a very interesting strategy. Basically, what I am doing here is that as long as Ethereum is going to come down here, I will be accumulating more and more in towards my position. And as long as it's going to be going up here, I'm going to be selling portions of my trade here along the way up here. So yeah, that is my strategy. I think that ultimately we could be going up towards about $4,000. That is of course the top side of the region right here. Some of my good colleagues, some of my good friends in the market as well are saying that we're going to be going much higher. But personally, also with my spot trades I'm taking here on Ethereum right now, I want to be going all out of my positions on about $4,000. But just like it happened last time around, you have to understand these things here. We moved up about 44% in a matter of 3 days here, or 2 days. And those things can be happening again here whenever we do clear this resistance on the top side. So yeah, we could be in for a major rally higher, and I'm super excited for what is about to be happening next over there. So yeah, this was it for me in today's update video, guys. If you did learn something from this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.